What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy, Tez Too Deep. We're here at Melt 502 for our next episodes, and maybe next couple episodes of Artists to Know. Thank you all so much for tuning in to us. Make sure you continue to follow us. We have a lot of artists that are interested, so please make sure you DM us, make sure you send us an email, make sure you do something to get us there, okay? So my name is Tez Too Deep. Shout out to Brother Visuals. We're doing our thing. We're having a good time. Artists to Know, Melt 502. Thank you so much. Tez Too Deep. I'm out.
You gotta know you're great, no matter what these people gonna say. You better know your worth. You can't stop even if it's gonna hurt. I said I'll wake up.
What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy, Tez Too Deep. We back. We are back. Artists to Know, man. It's been a crazy season. We've had a lot go on in between different episodes. So I know you guys are ready for this one, and we're going to keep that thing going just like we always do. So right now we are here with another Artist to Know. I am not going to introduce this person. This person is going to introduce themselves, and they're going to tell you all about what they got going on. So what's up, person? How are you?
I'm good, man. My name is Peter Wesley, Louisville raised artist, self-proclaimed best in the world.
Hey,
let's get to know me.
Yeah. So, appreciate you for taking your time out, man, and being here with us. It's really exciting to have artists and have people, talk about their art. You know what I mean? So, like, the first thing we always want to say, of course, you got, you know who you are. You're Peter Wesley. So, like, what do you do when you say you're an artist? Is it just like, are you talking music? Are you talking, like, painting or drawing? What do you do?
I'm a rapper. I can't paint or draw. I've tried. I'm horrible, man.
Yeah. So you're a rapper. How long you been doing it?
I've been seriously rapping since 2014. But I've been writing raps and recording raps since I was 14.
Yeah. Yeah. So forever. What? Yeah, in our this is a Louisville thing. I gotta interrupt and say this. So you say you're from Louisville, right?
Yeah.
So what's the thing they always ask you? What high school did you go to?
I went to Atherton.
Okay, you went to Atherton. Who else went to Atherton? We got somebody who went to Atherton, right? Is it Jack Harlow?
He did.
Jack Harlow did go to Atherton. Was you there when he?
No.
I didn't think he was. I just was wondering if he was.
Big age difference.
Yeah. But yeah, we got, and then they always ask, what does Louisville always ask? Is what's your high school? Now I'll ask something else, but I ain't gonna do that. But anyways, about music in our industry. So over that span of time, where have people, where were people seeing you? Like, where did you have shows or anything? Like, what?
I've probably performed at every single bar in the city.
Whoa. What was the biggest, okay, let's say this, because since you've had a lot of performances, what would probably be the biggest stage that you've probably...
Some of the biggest stages in Louisville that I've done, off the top of my head that I'm thinking, is probably Headliners, Mercury Ballroom.
Yeah.
If I've done something bigger, I just forgot.
Yeah, I know you. Also, did you headline or have you performed at our version of Ford Castle? Was Port Castle? You've performed there as well, right?
I did do Port Castle. That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I definitely love being there.
Yeah. So, what kind of we get? You say you've been rapping for a long time. So, like, what kind of got you into that thing? Like, what kind of got you to start? Maybe just taking a pen and start writing down rhymes and things like that.
Rap was always cool. That was so as a kid, just wanted to like that look of the stereotypical, the chain, the the gear, all of it. So it was always cool. But I think it was probably like middle school when I don't know. For what I think, just seeing other kids write raps, and it's like, oh, like we can do this,
yeah.
And getting into it and starting and getting actually good at it, and as kids, we were like sharing our notes and stuff, like, oh, this is my verses and that, and other kids liking it, and then it progressing to a point where I actually get my own like home recording equipment and and recording stuff and progressing, moving on, and adding stuff, and making more songs, or rapping other people's beats. Getting to the point where you finally go like, okay, now I can say I am a rapper.
Yeah. So, do we have any artists that kind of like that was like, yo, I was listening to this person that made me want to start rapping, or was it Any artists like that, or is it just like you just fell in love with hip hop and the whole culture of hip hop?
Probably the whole culture. Like, so it was like whoever was hot at the time.
Yeah. So are you one of those people that are like, oh, I don't know if y'all know about him, but there's like an underground rapper that inspired you or anything like that? Or are you just more like the culture in general was just dope?
The culture in general, I will say, when, you know, especially when I was listening, I mean, it's always like that, but when I was listening, you know, it wasn't so many different subgenres in rap. So me being a person who necessarily wasn't like, you know, like a thug or a drug dealer or anything in that market, if you felt like that was all you had to talk about. And growing up, there was like this, I found out about like this nerd rapper. His name was MC Chris. And when I found out about him, it was like, oh, you can rap about whatever you want to rap about.
Yeah.
And that did inspire me.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I mean, because I think a lot of times we're probably around the same age, so you was right about like literally the the drug rapper. Everything was that. So that is absolutely true. And I was listening to your music now, and I was always wondering, how did you find your style growing up the same age and stuff? So how did you find your style, throughout that time?
That took time. In the beginning, I was everybody else. I was shooting people and every, all the things I wasn't doing in real life. Like
Wesley was rapping about that.
It was all that.
No way. No, we gotta hear some of that, man. We gotta hear some of that. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, I think that's pretty dope that you elevated your game and your style throughout that time. I think everybody does it, but we don't ever talk about it and actually appreciate our style change, you know what I'm saying? And where we get it from, you feel me? So, with us, with Artists to Know is like, we also want to talk about some of the projects and some of the things that you got either going on, or do you remember your very first song or album that you ever recorded?
Oh, wow.
I should have prepared you with that one.
I know. My first mixtape I did was with some friends, and I don't remember the title of it, but I know we had. I know I probably still have a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I remember us being like, oh man, this is gonna make us super hot. And we went and got
going in.
We got maybe 40, 50 copies of it, and I remember being like, yeah, this is next year we gonna be on TV. And after a week or so listening to it, I was like, man, I don't want nobody to hear this.
Hey, that's how it always is, man. We always gotta start off somewhere, man. So when did you get to the point, because we have a connection as well. I know you're really good friends with my little cousin, little cousin Alex. And it was crazy because I remember when we kind of started connecting, I don't know if it was before the wedding or after the wedding, but I didn't realize that you were even in the wedding until the pictures. And I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me Peter Wesley? Peter West, I'm sorry, y'all. I know him. So you mean to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, you was in that wedding the whole time? And that's just how I think we connected. I think we connected after that.
We connected after that. However, before that, I was vaguely familiar with Louisville rap scene because I'm real close with Don B, so I've gone to some of his shows and whatnot. So I've seen people. So I had seen Too Deep before.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I know I've seen that guy. I think he raps.
Yeah.
And at the wedding, you was at a table, and I remember it was when this is after the wedding, at the
reception.
The reception.
Yeah.
So I had seen you sitting at the table, and when I was coming through. I can't dance. I don't know if I should reveal this. So I was super nervous about doing that whole thing. It was so embarrassing. Yeah. But as I was coming through, I seen you at the table, and I was like, man, I can't wait to just get over with this.
Man, get this done. But that's what I was saying. So really after that point, I would say is when I really knew you were a rapper, right? And I knew you was spitting bars. And that's why I was like, man, who is this guy? And then, we made the connection. Of course, shout out to Don B. Shout out to everybody in the Louisville music scene. But we started making connections throughout that time. So what was, I know we've done a couple of shows together. Now we've even been featured on the same song as well with Rob Lee. Shout out to Rob Lee. But what was the performance where do you remember the performance where we connected, or we started working together?
I think I went to one of your release shows at Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay.
I went up there and you was like, he's like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, you're Peter Wesley, right? And it's like, like, oh, we need to talk. So it was one of those things.
I hit you with the we need to talk.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I came in with the with no working in mind. Like I was like, I'm gonna go check this out.
Yeah.
So mission accomplished, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you dropped multiple amount of projects. That's one thing I really like about. I was telling you this off camera. One thing I really admire about you and other artists in our city. Some of you all really work. You know what I mean? Like you really work at your craft, and you like continuously are dropping stuff, right? So like, how do you what makes you continue to drop things? Like, do you keep up with your stats or analytics or anything with that?
A little bit more now. I'm still not super into it. I just know I'm trying to study a little bit of it, but the way I try to do things is really just I'm always working on something. Mm-hmm. So when I it's just want to get things, I want to put something out. I want to at least put out at least one project a year. That's like a goal.
How many projects have you released in a year? Is it just been one, or have you like?
I think a couple times I've done like two. Yeah. And they been like collab projects.
Yeah.
But I don't try to get wrapped up into the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
One thing I learned from Don B is he's like, I'll drop this and maybe nobody will listen to it now, but if I get popping later, they're gonna go back to this. So I try to keep that in mind when doing things. It's like because sometimes I'll right now I'll look at all the old stuff and it's like I don't care about none of this.
Yeah.
So that's why I try not to even keep track about how much I've done, because in my head, anything I've done before 2019, I don't even want to hear it. Like I just don't.
No, I got you. So you are very prevalent or present online. Like I know it was, especially during the pandemic, I remember you would always post up like some videos and either start rapping or just kind of introducing or promoting yourself on there. Like, how important is that for you, as an independent artist, to like have an online presence still right now?
It's hugely important. Especially knowing like in our city, like during the pandemic, like it seemed, and probably everywhere, shows were like, not happening. So like the only thing you could do was be online. But even before that, as an artist, the idea of having an online presence is always like talk down your throat, and sometimes it gets overwhelming, because the idea of being on Twitter, it's like or Facebook or Instagram, it's like the idea of you got to post now, and if it's something hot, you got to keep posting, or people are gonna forget you.
Yep.
And it's something I try to, now I try not to get too wrapped into it, as far as like I just want to do something for me, and try to, make something entertaining. But in the past, it's almost like I gotta keep doing this. I gotta have a certain amount of posts by this week or this day. Now I try not to look at it like that. Yeah. I don't worry about like my reach or nothing. And this is probably horrible advice for anybody watching, but I'm just, from an artistic point of view, is how I look at it. That's the only way I want to do it now.
I got you, man. Are you under any type of management or anything like that? Is that kind of what you're doing? Or are you just all the way independent?
All the way independent. I've talked to people, and once we meet at a point, or once we get there, that's how I'm looking. I'm not like actively trying to make any business with anyone. Mm-hmm. I'm and that's not to say like I'm holding out for anything like that. It's just like I'm not worried about it. Like I'm out here. I'm indie.
You in the streets? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm indie. No, I am.
I said Peter Wesley's for the streets. That's what we just heard. Peter Wesley said, I'm out here. I'm in the streets.
I'm just fully independent. I'm a raw dog in entertainment, man. That's maybe we should erase it. But no, like it's just it's not no machine behind me is what I mean.
I got you.
That's what I meant to say.
I mean, really, man, how do you stay motivated then? Like, how do you stay motivated? Because like I know, as an independent artist myself, you drop projects or you drop stuff online, and maybe you don't get the I guess, the review or the praise that you were looking for? You know what I'm saying? What keeps you motivated to keep rapping and keep going at this music thing, bro?
I guess not looking at it like that, because there's been times when I put out stuff and it's like all these like, you know, waves and, you know, praises, and, you know, especially when you're new, people's like, oh, that this guy could be next. It's why all this talk comes. But after a while, people are not. You're not fresh anymore, and people are not super like just impressed off just your name. Now it's just like trying to make quality work.
Yep.
And when things are good, people love it. And that's all my focus on. It's just making quality.
I feel you.
Instead of trying to be hot.
Yeah. I got you. So we also look at you, man. When I always interview artists, I kind of go back and pay attention to what they're doing. You're a big wrestling fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did Peter Wesley want to be a wrestler?
Short minds can't be wasted. Got a different cadence. I've been amazing. I'm entertaining, you imitating. Everything that I do exciting. Flow smooth like Dunkaroo icing. True.
I think as a kid, but I quickly was like, I'm way too small for that.
You can't say that, man. It's plenty small. I mean, I don't think none of them are necessarily
these days
really big, especially these days.
These days, there's a lot of small
guys.
guys.
90s is different.
Yeah,
too,
yeah. In the 90s, everybody was big.
Yeah,
that's when my dream died.
No, but you could have been Edge, man. You could have been Edge. You could have been Christian. You could have been Jeff Hardy. You could have been somebody flying around, jumping up. Jumping up. You didn't want to do it.
I think if I was maybe growing up as a kid now, and I see all the smaller people, I would have probably jumped forward.
Yeah.
But just seeing like people's workouts and diets, and
it's like, man, they trying.
Yeah, it's not a life that I could maintain.
Absolutely. And I noticed that you also put that into your music as well, right? You had a couple albums, couple songs that kind of went towards that. You and another artist that we interviewed, Semi, just dropped something too. Is correct?
Yeah.
I think last year, or was it early this year?
We dropped it at the end of last year.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit more about that project?
Yeah, man, Semi can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah,
He's a super hard worker.
Yep.
He's like, hey, you want to do a project? I'm like, sure. And then he's like, the next day, sending me emails of songs. Like, not even just instrumental songs that he's already got verses and hooks on. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just...
Probably a whole theme.
He's got it. He comes to me with the theme. He's got everything. And it's just like, I just got a role to play. And I'm like, hey, sure, whatever.
Yeah, he's dope like that, man.
But it's better because, when you meet people on the scene, people's like, oh, well, we should work together. And that's it. That's the conversation. We should work together and then nothing else.
Yep.
He came with a whole script, and I'm like, I'm down.
That's dope, man. And then, like, totally though, you have. How do you think you all gelled on that EP album? How do you think y'all gelled on it?
Oh, pretty well. Like, it was like two different styles, but it that meshed really good.
Yeah.
He was, I'm usually coming in, fast rapping this and punch on and stuff. He's really smooth, laid back. He's
sometimes
got the
melodic.
Yes, he's got the melodic hooks. I'm just coming in, and he even said like, I want you, like, he comes in like a director. I want you doing this. Hey, tell me what I got to do. I'm perfectly with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Semi is dope. You know what I mean? Really great guy to work with. So kind of to get where we're supposed to be at, you're the artist to know, because I feel like people need to know about Peter Wesley and what you're doing. So can you give us some more examples of like, what are you looking to do in the future? Musically, is there not necessarily just projects, maybe performances or videos or whatever the case may be?
I'm currently working on a project called For Pete's Sake. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely taking my time with it, because I wanted to be like a work of art. Like, this is like and with it, like, I've been analyzing like myself and other artists during the pandemic. I took it as a time of reflection, and I've looked at everything that I did not like about myself. From how my voice sound, how I put together songs, and I just looked at that as a way to improve, and that's how I've put in on this project.
Yeah, dope, man. So do you got any idea? I mean, are we thinking like fall, winter? Are we thinking next year, or?
I would hope by by winter, but it may be by next year. Okay. Because when I do it, I just don't. I want to do it right with like the right video, the
Absolutely.
right promotion. This is like my like I said earlier. Like I don't even care about anything I've done prior to 2019.
Oh.
So with this, like this is my this is my go-to project. Like this is what I want people to know me as, like associate me with.
Okay, dope, man, dope. So last thing we do with all the artists that we interview, we actually tell them to look in one of the cameras, you know what I mean, focus in.
We got a lot here.
We got a lot going on, right? You look at one of those cameras and you tell those people that are listening, that are watching Artists to Know right now, tell them why you are the Artist to Know and give them every information. Tell them your social media and all that other good stuff, bro.
I'm the Artist to Know because I'm a product of the city. I'm here with you. I'm a hardworking artist. I don't have a gimmick to give you. I give you myself. So when you hear me, you're hearing the real reflections from a Louisville resident, from a real resident, a real person. And with all that said, I am still the best in the world.
Hey.
And from you can hear me on all social media on all streaming platforms, your Apple Music, your Spotify, the Tidal, and then all the other ones that I don't remember the name to. Online, social media, Peter Wesley 22 on everything, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know what else there is. By the time we come out, there'll probably be a new platform where we're all dancing on. And my name will probably be the same on that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you all so much for tuning in to Artists to Know. Shout out to Peter Wesley. Shout out to everybody that's tuning into the show. Make sure you continue to go to our YouTube page, go to our Facebook page, and our social media page as well. It's another episode. We're going to keep them going. If you want to be a part of this show, then you already know what to do, man. Hit us up at Tez Too Deep. Hit us up anywhere this is, and we will get you there. Thank you so much, Peter Wesley, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we out of here.
All through the day, I was making prayers that we all get paid. The world on hold, can't go on a road, but the show don't stop. And I was at home, setting some goals, and I know that you're not. See, I don't need a whole lot, a large property and a whole lot. My daughter want dollars on Roblox, I just want both in my pockets to show knots. I smell success, got a chance in the oven cooking. For fall, I'ma land on another cushion. I got plans for grands and 100s pulling. One Tamika's wristlet, band matching Wonder Woman. Screw up with nothing, I knew.